This episode of Nothing But Raiders podcast is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 platform to browse, discover, and experience the best events in town, and all in the palm of your hand. From heart-pounding concerts that can make you dance to nail-biting sports games that can keep you on the edge of your seat, SeatGeek has it all. From exclusive deals and personalized recommendations tailored just for you. Use our promo code SRT and get $20 off your first purchase. So join the movement. SeatGeek. Get up, get out, and get tickets.
I didn't care as much about being respected as I cared from the standpoint of winning about being feared and being imitated. And then respect could come after that.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
Yo.
We are here. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We all the way live, like Coolio.
or Lakeside, where he got that from.
Exactly. Either one, y'all. But what's up, y'all? What is going on? What is going on? It's your boy Darion and my boy Willie. We are in the Commitment to Excellence podcast. Oh, we have a lot to talk about. We know Willie talked about most of it on the Nothing But Raider podcast Tuesday night. I appreciate you coming on, brother. I appreciate it.
Always a blast, man. Always a blast to be with you.
And you know, I know that we were supposed to do it last night, but it was hard for them to come on last night. I'm gonna see if they can still pop in real quickly. If they're up, because I know they be partying on Friday nights and stuff like that. Shout out to James, Dominique 5, Juan Rodriguez, and I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm gonna just say 207. I'm not gonna butcher that. I'm not
egalitarian.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it. Listen, I don't know what it is.
Well, let's just ask him. Egalitarian. Tell us in the chat what that is. Thank you, sir, or ma'am, or they, or them, or you have to be careful these days.
But yeah, we have do I really have to recap week 3, man? I know it's Commitment to Exit podcast. I know tomorrow we play the Chargers, but we do our podcast later on in the week. So unfortunately, we have to talk about the recap in some instances there. So I'm gonna pull up the topics. He sent me. Yo, Willie be sending me like Bible scriptures, of topics, he really be sending me Bible, like really Bible. I'm like, bro, this is a lot of topics within an hour, bro. Like, but we making it happen. We making it happen. So it's all good over here. It's all good over here. So, Willie, what's been up with you though? How's your week been, man?
You know what? I'm ready for some college football today because as we are doing this show, we know that the Trojans and the Buffaloes are about to go at it. But other than that, though, the week was it was very busy. I think I did 7 shows this week, man. So I don't have any complaints other than the 24 or the 9 to 5 gets in the way too much.
Yeah.
And at some point, we have to figure out a way to build this thing where this becomes the main thing and the other thing becomes nothing. Because I'm tired and I don't have a whole lot of my best days are definitely behind me. And I wish I had this amount of energy and ideas and creativity, 15 years ago. But I don't. So that's why I run. I'm running for the next 3 to 4 years so I can walk the rest of my life. Take that one home for y'all to get that one on the way home. And I actually gave you that one for free. # Coach Willie. What's going on? So yeah, man, other than that, how was your week?
My week was pretty busy, man. My week was pretty busy because, I have the Darion Hopkins show, Nothing But Raider podcast, live play-by-plays on Thursday nights or live play-by-plays on Monday nights. Then I have the Raider Nation Roundup on the Grid Network on Wednesday. So this is my schedule every week. I work 7:30 to 3:30. It takes me a little bit to get home.
Mm-hmm.
I do my podcast at 6:00 on Monday. Then I do Monday Night Football. That's Monday. 2, go to work, come home, get ready for Nothing But Raiders podcast. Wednesday, come home, do the Darion Hopkins Sports Show, and then do the Raider Nation Roundup presented by the Grid Network. Thursday, chilling. I just had to do Thursday Night Football, and that's it. Friday, go to work, come home, do Darion Hopkins Sports Show. I usually do college football on Saturdays, but I don't like the viewership for college football because they show the game on YouTube. So I just don't do I just alleviate the college football, and then I do my Raiders on Sunday. So that's basically how my week is every single day for 5 days.
Yeah.
I have a lot going on every week, and I still make it happen though. I still make it happen. And shout out to a special person that probably might be watching this podcast. I'll see you later, love, because I have a date today. So yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yes. Yes, I have a date. I'm gonna take all this Raider frustration and go to this place, and yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. So I have a date tonight.
That's awesome, man. That's cool, and you got to do that, man, because if you don't stop and smell the roses, they will wither up along the way, and there won't be any left. So,
and Leo, let us know if you want to come up, bro. I can send a link into our Nothing But Raider podcast group chat. Let me know if you want to come up. I appreciate that.
Yeah, sure.
But we do have some people in the chat already asking questions before we get into our topics. He said, "What's the talk about? We got worked. If things don't change, here we go again on the merry-go-round carousel with fake coaching staff." I mean, do you think it's a merry-go-round all over again?
It has to be. It has to be, because last year has okay. Can we just get to the topics? Juan, we're gonna come back to that. Shout out to Juan, man. He always chimes in when I'm doing Instagram live on either one of my other shows. So yeah, let's come back to that. Let's get to these topics, man.
Okay. Las Vegas Raiders defense have a tall order versus the Los Angeles Chargers offense, which we will get into that. Leo, what's up, man? Like I said, if you want to be on, I can send you the link real quick. Protect the Show podcast. What's going on? What's going on, brother? Let me know if y'all want to pop in real quick, and we're gonna do a quick recap. Matter of fact, I will let y'all come in during the Chargers topic, because we already talked about it on Nothing But Raider podcast about everything. So yeah, so let me know. So let me know if y'all want the link. Just let me know in the comments if you want the link or not. Snoop, what's going on?
Snoop Hernandez, I love it.
Yep, Snoops Hernandez. Yep. Raider secondary has a limit to big plays from Keenan Allen, Joshua Palmer, and Quentin Johnston, and Donald Parham Jr. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get into a lot of that on this podcast. We're definitely going to get into a lot of that. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how we match up against these Chargers. But before we get into any of the recaps, the donkeys got spanked on, brother. The donkeys got spanked on. See, he always talk about, before we talk about Raiders, he wants to talk about other stuff in the league. And you want to talk about the Dolphins putting 70 on a donkey? It's like, come on, man. Listen, Sean Payton, you reap what you sow, bro. You just can't be talking shit in the offseason.
And that's where I wanted you to go with it, because I actually just talked about that on my show, the ShakeBack Sports Show. It will be airing in 36 minutes on the TuneIn app. Search BGC Sports Network. I just talked about that, and that is what I wanted you to get into, was Sean Payton. And I said something that I'm gonna make Saints fans irate. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready for this.
Sean Payton is an overrated coach.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit. Talk your shit.
Sean Payton is an overrated coach. And Drew Brees is not an all-time elite quarterback.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
Stop.
We're not going to do that to Drew Brees. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. We're not going to do that.
He's not an all-time. I didn't say he wasn't one of the best.
He's an all-time quarterback. He's definitely all-time.
He's not an all-time elite quarterback. There's two things you have to be considered elite in my book, and he has neither one. He has elite numbers, yes. He has the most elite numbers of anybody that we've ever seen. But Drew Brees has been outplayed too many times by the likes of Kirk Cousins. Sean Payton's been outcoached too many times by the likes of, I don't know, just throw somebody out there. And Drew Brees has one Super Bowl championship, one regular season MVP. In order to be considered to be elite, you have to have the numbers along with the awards to include a minimum.
So if that's the case, then if that's the case, then you have to take Dan Marino out. If that's the case.
I mean, yeah.
That's in the Hall of Fame. If you want to go that route, a lot of those quarterbacks shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame if that's the case.
This is my opinion, Darion. Nobody else's. Now, that's why I said I was going to get.
You want to go that route because I could pull up the Jim Kellys that lost 4 Super Bowls straight.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the Hall of Fame, and Drew Brees has better numbers than Jim Kelly.
But Jim Kelly's he's not an all-time elite quarterback.
But they consider him that.
Who's they? This is my show.
The committee.
This is our show. We can say what we want. But you know what? Let's leave it there because I'm gonna have you come on one of my shows and we can discuss that ad nauseum. And I will outline everything why I believe that is not taking anything away from Drew Brees. Again, he has elite numbers. Right. He does. But the other stuff that goes along with it, he does not have. And to me, championships and MVPs as a quarterback should be, in my opinion, the thing that judges on somebody that's elite or not. Dan Marino, unfortunately, he put up elite numbers as well. We got to think about that. Elite numbers aside from, that's like saying Carmelo Anthony is an all-time great player or an all-time elite player. Well, we know he's an all-time elite scorer, but not an all-time elite player because of he's never won an MVP. His teams have never gone past the championship round in their conference, so he has no finals championships. All-time elite scorer, not an all-time elite player. And then on top of that, his defense always left us something with to be a little bit desired. So that's the difference. And we're splitting hairs, D, for real. But let's move on. Let's get to our Raiders, man. But anyway, back to
because I can't listen. We got to figure out a day and a time to come on your show because I want all the smoke with this. I think Drew Brees is a all-time elite because his backstory makes it all-time elite. The Chargers gave up on him. Number one, Chargers gave up on him after he broke his collarbone. He went all the way down to New Orleans and him and Sean Payton revamped it. But I think it was more Drew Brees made Sean Payton to who he was than Sean Payton made Drew Brees to what he was, because Drew Brees was already good until he got hurt with the Chargers. Sean Payton was still a young OC coming from the Dallas Cowboys, getting his first head coaching job, and Drew Brees made him look good. That's exactly how I see it. Right,
and I want to bring up this because Leo says this. So Brad Johnson is elite because he won a Super Bowl? Absolutely not. Trent Dilfer? Absolutely not. Neither one of those guys have ever won an MVP, nor did they put up elite numbers. So it's more than just winning a championship, because we know Trent Dilfer was carried by that defense. We know that Brad Johnson was carried by that defense, but we also
was not carried. That Saints defense was not carried by them either.
Yeah, but Drew Brees did not carry that team in the way that we see the elite quarterbacks have carried their teams. Peyton Manning, elite. Tom Brady, elite.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because it was like 4 or 5 years in a row that he couldn't get past the New England Patriots with a mediocre defense. We're not going to do that.
Okay.
We're not going to do that.
But you see how
I love Peyton Manning. He's a Tennessee Volunteer for life. But I'm going to be completely honest with you. When he finally beat the Saints in the Super Bowl, that was the only elite defense he had in his career.
And that elite wasn't defense because they gave up the most rushing yards in the regular season.
But they were still ranked the top 10 defense, though.
No, sir. Okay, I
think they was ranked the top 10 defense when they beat the Saints.
We got to move on, bro.
Yeah, we got to move on. See, I want all the smoke today. I want all the smoke today. Oh, look, yeah.
A house divided would never stand. So let's get to it. But yeah, back.
Yes, thank you. Peyton Manning was carried by the defense when the Broncos won and when he won one with the Indianapolis Colts. I'm just saying.
Hey, the second one for sure. The first one, he shouldn't have won that MVP. That should have gone to Dominic Rhodes in that offense that ran the ball. But anyway, let's get back to it. Raider Nation, don't be mad at me, man. That's just he said it's too early for this.
Leo, we're gonna bring you in doing the Chargers, man. I'm gonna send you the link when the Chargers thing happened, man. But
let's get to it. Let's get to it.
The week 3, recap of the Steelers game. We're just going to do a quick recap of. We talked about it on Tuesday for Nothing But Raiders, but the Raiders steal the victory from the jaws of defeat and lose to Pittsburgh 23-18. Willie, break it down for us real quickly. So we got that because I want to get into the next couple of topics that you have on here. Oh yeah.
Okay, so the defense, and we talked about this on Nothing But Raiders podcast on your show. So you guys really need to go back and do the replay on that because we're not going to get too deep into this because we need to make sure we stay on point. And we got a couple of new segments that we want to we got a new segment that we're going to unveil as well. But in a nutshell, the defense did what the defense needed to do. The offense, you guys are being the anchor, and I don't mean being the anchor in terms of being able to be the stable portion of the team.
No,
I mean the anchor portion of which you are dragging the team down. The offensive line, I don't know what's wrong with you guys. You have for some reason forgotten how to run block. Josh Jacobs did get a little bit untracked, 17 carries, 60-something yards.
Yeah, it was like 63 or 62 yards or something of that nature.
Yeah, Devontae Adams, I mean, you can't look. This is just like Michael Jordan before Scottie Pippen got there.
Right.
You can't have Michael Jordan going for 55 points and averaging 38 a game. This is what Michael Jordan did. He averaged 38 a game, ladies and gentlemen, and the Bulls barely finished at 500 or better.
Right.
This is what Devontae Adams and the Raiders are in the passing concepts of getting this dude 20 targets. And he had 12 receptions or 14 receptions, whatever it was.
Yeah, about 13 receptions for like 100 and something yards in 2 touchdowns.
But the 20 targets is what I'm focusing on. Look, the 20 targets is what I'm targeting because you can't do that. You cannot do that. Go ahead.
Because Jimmy Garoppolo did throw for 44 passing attempts, right?
Can't do that either.
20 of those targets came from Devontae Adams, and 12 of those targets went to Jacoby Myers. So out of the 44 attempts that Jimmy Garoppolo threw the football, he did 32 targets between 2 receivers, but we have all these other weapons on the football field.
Where's Trey Carter?
Trey Tucker?
Yeah, Trey Tucker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, where is DeAndre Carter? Where's Hunter Renfrow? Where's Michael Mayer? Where's Austin Hooper? I mean, I'm just saying.
And the kid from Detroit, Laporta, the tight end that was taken after Mayer, is up there in Detroit balling. I'm disgusted. Yeah, Raider Ratique. Jacobs is playing like. Look, man, we can't put this all on Josh. I mean,
we want to get into that too.
Yeah, we can't put this all on Josh, but that's my take, man. From week 3, and I'm gonna reserve the obvious portion of it to the segment that we're gonna unveil a little bit later in the show.
So I'm gonna just give my quick recap on it. People said Josh Jacobs is playing like straight shit. Let me say something to you. Your running back is only as good as your offensive line. If your offensive line can't get a push, your running back won't be successful. Only person that can really do that ever in football was Barry Sanders. He was able to be successful without an offensive line. A real bad offensive line in the Detroit Lion years. So you just can't put it all on Josh Jacobs. What you have to do is you have to make sure this offensive line has continuity, and Josh McDaniels got to be a better play caller for Josh Jacobs. If you've seen it in week 3, you saw it that when you went up tempo, Josh Jacobs got going. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I said that on Tuesday night, and I'm going to repeat myself here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it at the end of the day. So for me, overall, I think Josh McDaniels have some blame to it. The offense of execution have some blame to it. And I really can't say much about the defense, because when it comes to the defense, they kind of held their side of the bargain, and our offense didn't meet the requirements, basically. So when it comes to the defense, I have to give them credit, because they went up against the worst offense in the NFL. And we couldn't run the ball against the worst run defense in the NFL.
Right.
That tells you something there. Where if you can't run the ball on the worst run defense in the league, it's not the running back, it's the offensive line. And then if we held our end of the bargain and up to the fourth quarter, our defense was gassed. We gave them too many. The defense gave our offense too many opportunities to get at least a field goal or a touchdown, and we just kept getting 3-and-outs, punts, interceptions. It's terrible. But congratulations to the Steelers. They executed when they needed to execute, and they won the game. Simple as that.
Yeah. And a lot of people in the chat are saying a lot of the same things that we have said and continue to say, and we're really what you just echoed. Excuse me. No lie, the defense looks better from the good stuff. Again, Raider critique. Yeah, that's Barry Sanders was shifty as all get out, or as all. But yeah, I mean, and the task that's upcoming on tomorrow that we'll get to is going to be far greater than what we saw on Sunday night.
Okay, so this is my thing either. See, how can you break tackles? This is my thing, Dominique 5. How can you break tackles when your offensive lineman getting pushed 3 to 5 yards back off the snap? You can't break tackles that way. If your offensive line is getting beat at the point of attack, it's really hard for Josh Jacobs to break tackles. So like I said, it starts with the offensive line. You have to build momentum with a running back, and that's when they start breaking tackles, when you build that momentum. That's just in general, not just from the Pittsburgh game. That's just in general in itself.
So yeah, I mean, 100% agree.
So, is this part of it too? The neurotic that the Raiders, they get us high and then they get us down. I mean, I think we already know that from some point. If I'm being completely honest with you, I think we know that they get us high hopes and then they let us down. I think we know that already, and I think we knew that for a long time at this point, bro.
That's why it's a narcotic, because we know it and we can't get off of it. It's called being addicted.
That means, just like what Stephen A. says, stay off the weed. I'm gonna definitely get that. I'm gonna get that soundbite. I'm gonna get that soundbite for people. I'm gonna get that for the Darion Hopkins Sports Show for people that do stupid shit. I'm like, stay off the weed.
I like it. But yeah, man, you're absolutely right. I mean, and as we have continued to talk about, we some OGs in this game when it comes to being a Raider fan. It's just I don't know what Mark Davis is thinking about.
Right.
So anyway, let's move on.
Okay. Here we go again with Chandler Jones, y'all, being arrested by the Las Vegas Raiders Police Department. Do you have the full story on this, Willie? Because I've heard some of it, but I didn't hear all of it. And before anybody do anything, before we get into that topic, make sure y'all go subscribe to ShakeBack Media Group. Make sure you follow them on Twitter and Instagram. Even if you put ShakeBack Media Group in the search, it will definitely still come up on Twitter and Facebook. So make sure y'all follow them on all social media platforms at ShakeBack. Media Group. And of course, Nothing But Raider Podcast, NBR Pod 1. Just had to throw that out there. And what was that noise, Willie? Willie, what was that?
Raider critique.
I'm always on weed. I can't deal with it. That is hilarious, yo. That you know what? Listen, you know what? You're at critique. You're absolutely right.
Oh my
With
gosh.
this team, it runs you the drink and it runs you the smoke. That is a known fact. A known fact. But Chandler Jones is doing the same thing for me too, bro.
Yeah, I don't have all of the nuts and bolts of the Chandler Jones story. I just basically just wanted to touch on it for a second because number one, obviously the young man has some mental issues going on. So we need to make sure that we uplift him as a man first. And remember that he is a man first with a family.
Right.
And that whatever's going on with him mentally, that he is able to break that hold that's over him. And I didn't want us to, Darion, I didn't want us to start poking fun at him because he was arrested, which is obviously a serious deal. I didn't want to poke fun to him or at him because he's not on the field, because obviously the field has to be secondary to his life.
Right.
But the reports have been is that he was arrested for violating a domestic what do you call it when you have to stay away from somebody?
Leo said it right there. He said he broke a protection order.
Yes.
Went to his girlfriend's house and took some stuff. Then was seeing burning it, shaking my head.
Yeah.
Mental health is real, bro.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's what I wanted to talk about as a mental health advocate. D, my wife and I are both staunch mental health advocates. As someone that has been diagnosed with that dreaded issue, that's why I want to make it clear that this is not about Chandler Jones, the football player. This is about Chandler Jones, the man and the family man. And, you know, we need to pray for him and we need to pray for his girl, because obviously he's doing things that he himself does not know what he's doing.
Yeah, because let's get to a point where this story, it all started. Like, just give a quick backtrack of how it all started. It all started where he got denied into the Las Vegas Raiders facility to work out. What was that? Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day weekend. I think it was Labor Day weekend when that happened. So he wasn't supposed to go to didn't get access to the facility, and then he went on social media and had a whole meltdown about it. Went to social media, and then he comes out with some other situations where he said Mark Davis did something to his goddaughter. Willie can't say the word on the podcast, but said that he did something to his goddaughter, and Chandler Jones just been tweeting that he's okay, he's supposed to be back. Then boom, he's on a PUP list. The Raiders don't want to cut him because of the cap space. Of the reason why they don't want to cut him, they will kill them in the dead cap, and then. Boom, here we go with this bomb that he broke, order of protection. And it's just crazy how you don't know what a man is going through.
Mm-hmm.
They actually start being vulnerable on social media. Mm-hmm. And I think on a serious note, even though Chandler Jones is reminding me of Antonio Brown in some situations in some ways, but not like as crazy as Antonio Brown, but at the end of the day, I just feel like when you get vulnerable on social media, that means you can't be vulnerable around the people that's close to you. If he has a wife, if he has a father or uncle or something like that, that means when you have to be vulnerable on social media, that means you have no one to talk to behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Not even your teammates, not even your coaches, not even none of that. Because I've known people that's been there before. And they felt like they had to go to social media to get that attention because they wasn't getting the attention behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's all I want to say about it. We're not going to allow ourselves to kick him while he's down.
Right.
That's not what we're about. I can tell you right now, that's why the ShakeBack Media Group, the entire company, was created for people just like him. And people that's in the chat that they may think that they may be alone in something. I'm telling you right now, and I'm being wholeheartedly 100% serious. Anybody in the chat, I'm telling you right now, if you have something that you're going through, I'm available. I don't have to know what it is. I don't have to know why it happened. I don't have to know any of the details. But I'm telling you right now, as long as I have breath, you will never be alone. You can hit me up, DM me, whatever the case may be. I'm not going to judge you. I'm only going to try to help you. And that's what Chandler Jones and many people like Chandler Jones need at this point.
Facts. So we just wishing the best for Chandler Jones at the end of the day. Just wishing the best, man. But shout out to everybody that's in the chat. To Critique, Leo, Gladiator Games, Dominique 5, Jack Wild Sports Show said the best thing I can say about Chandler Jones is may the man find his peace. Let me go back. May he find his peace because he needs the help, and I hope he finds it. What's up, Mo Green? What's going on, my brother? Thank you for tuning in. Dominique 5 said, just off topic real quickly, I'm watching the USC and Colorado game, bro. Whoever gets Caleb Williams is a lucky franchise. This dude is the next Mahomes. I pray he doesn't go to the Broncos. Please don't go to the Broncos. Just stay another year. Stay another year in the NFL in college football.
Or the Cardinals for that matter.
Sure, yeah, facts. Facts. So we're gonna get into one of the main topics that been talked about all week, and that's Jimmy G being in concussion protocol and likely probably be out for the week. We probably won't find out and probably till tomorrow, if tomorrow or tonight, that he'll be playing. But for me, like I said, bring in Aiden O'Connell. And what is our reasonable expectations for Aiden O'Connell? And I talked about this on the Raider Nation Roundup. And the guy is a mature rookie. People fail to forget that he was a fifth-year senior at Purdue, and he's 25 years old. Yes, so he's a mature rookie. Now, I would love for Jimmy G to start. Don't get me wrong. But the fact that he's in concussion protocol, it makes me worry. Because I feel like even though as fans, we want Aiden O'Connell to be the quarterback, but I bet you Josh McDaniels will start Brian Hoyer. That's just how Josh McDaniels works. Unfortunately, I want this kid to play, and I think that he could bring expectations because number one, you only got film on him from preseason. Mind you, half of the players that he was throwing to is probably no longer on the football team. That's one. Or number two, Aiden O'Connell, I think he's ready for the big stage. This is a home game for the Raiders. This ain't a home game for the Chargers. This is a home game this is the real home opener for the Las Vegas Raiders. Not last week, this week. And I think he's going to embrace that. Devontae Adams is going to have, I think with Devontae Adams going to get the ball, of course, we all know that. But I think he's going to spread the wealth more than Jimmy G. So my expectations is I wouldn't be surprised if he wins us a football game. This probably is the Chargers. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and my hope is that number one, the health of Jimmy G is most important to Jimmy G.
Yeah.
This is not his first concussion. This ain't his second concussion. And if Jimmy G does play, is it really going to get us any closer to a playoff spot? Whether if he doesn't play, I'm of the opinion that it will not. I'm hoping that we have a Brock Purdy-esque type of situation with Aiden McConnell. Now, it's hard to say that. And I actually saw something last night, D, that Jimmy G is going to be out. I don't know how accurate it is. That's just something that I saw.
Okay.
But I'm hoping for a Brock Purdy-esque type of situation. But the main difference is that our head coach is Josh McDaniels, and the 49ers head coach is Shanahan. That's the huge difference. J.A. Rader says Jimmy is out. So we can confirm that in a second, I guess.
Jimmy is out. So do they make Hoyer the starter or Aiden O'Connell? That's the question.
And this is where I was going with this. If Josh McDaniels allows Hoyer to be the starter moving forward, I'm gonna start cussing again. And I'm gonna be cussing on this show. And I don't want to do that, man, because
listen,
I got preachers watching, I got deacons watching. I'm a deacon in my church, man. But these Raiders, man, they are Josh McDaniels will have me. He's going to mess around and turn me into the old me.
Well, I wish you could. I would like just abbreviate it or just text me what you want to say, and I'll say it for you. I'll say it for you, so you won't get in trouble. I'm just saying.
I love that idea. Make sure you have the unlimited plan. The unlimited texting plan, because you know that's
I have unlimited everything, so you can go as long as you want, bro. Pause, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. And the expectations, man. I think if we lower our expectations to, hey, let's just go in here and not get this kid killed, and hopefully, and we've seen it, man. We've seen it with. I'm not comparing the dude to Tom Brady by even Jesus cussed. The good stuff. Y'all are not gonna let us get through this entire show, man. I'm telling you right now, y'all are crazy out there.
It'll be the comments, man.
But I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, no. Let's just go out here and not get this kid killed. All right. I mean, the running game, the offensive line, you got to be able to get back to what you were. And the best thing that we can do for Aiden O'Connell is, number one, run the football, and then number two, set him up for play action pass with Mayer and Hooper going across the middle of the field. That's going to be his best friend. And again, if we can see it, Stevie Wonder can see it, Ray Charles can see it. How come Josh McDaniels can't see it? I'm just saying.
Hold up. I got a surprise for you. Hold up. Go ahead. Keep finishing.
Okay. So that's it right there. Let me while you do what you're doing, I'm gonna read some of these comments. All right. So Jack's Wild Sports Show says, if Hoyer starts, then McDaniels has to go, not because of his football mind, but because of principle alone. You can't be scared to see what you have. He was brought in to see what he has or what he can do. Very, very true. I'm done, man. I'm done.
I had to do it, man. These lights is pretty bright, man. But yeah, that's how, when you said that, I just felt like, doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, clap your hands. There you go. Now you got the whole outfit. Oh my gosh.
Woo. But I'm sorry, I just had to get that off. But I had to do it. I got the right type of sunglasses for it too.
Yeah, you did.
But I agree with you 100%, bro. I do. I just feel like right now, Aiden O'Connell I think he's ready. I just think he's waiting for his opportunity. He has not been active. He has not been active either. So, like, when it comes to being on a 53-man roster by the time the game starts, so he's always inactive. But they saying, yeah, I agree with the comments though. They saying that if Josh McDaniels starts Hoyer, that means they don't give a shit about the season. They just don't. They're tanking. Mm-hmm. And I don't like to say that word, tanking, but I still feel like if we're going to lose, let's go with Aiden O'Connell instead of a guy that's been on all 32 NFL teams in Brian Hoyer.
I don't think he's been on the Cowboys.
I would not be surprised if he was a third string and we didn't know about it.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised because it's Brian Hoyer we talk about. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about what Tay said after being targeted 20 times and grabbing a double-digit receptions for multiple touchdowns.
Hold up. I got this.
What'd he say? Can't believe you got me in the mix with this fool.
Yeah, listen, Davante Adams, listen. He feels though that Josh McDaniels is not building a winning culture. That's one. Mm-hmm. There was some other things that was stated too that he said that he don't have time to waste. And that's telling him there, like, this team better get this shit together by the end of the year, because in the offseason, I got a feeling he has a feeling. I think he's going to
take a deep breath.
He's going to feel like that it's time for him to get traded, because I said it on Nothing But Raider podcast, and people are going to get mad at me because I'm bringing up Derek Carr. I don't give two shits about what anybody has to say when it comes to that, because if Davante Adams, the reasoning of Davante Adams coming here, is because of Derek Carr, not because of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if that man asked for a trade next season. Derek Carr was just the scapegoat to get Devontae Adams here and give Derek Carr the boot. That's exactly what it was. Even though Derek Carr didn't have a great year last year, and I didn't like the way he played last year, I sure didn't. But you used Derek Carr to get Devontae Adams. It was the scapegoat. You knew that mid-season you was not keeping Derek Carr after last season.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how it was. And now Devontae Adams saying he's being outspoken and saying, I don't have time to waste.
Yeah, he's just being real.
Right. And he's being real because as Raiders fans, we don't have time to waste either.
No.
We're wasting money. We're tired of wasting travel money. We're tired of wasting tickets. We're just tired of buying merchandise. We're tired of it. And so is Devontae Adams. So
and he obviously this is his 10th year, right? Isn't it his 10th year?
About his 10th year, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously he's at his prime and will be going downhill from here. And it's like, what are we doing? And he had the same issue in Green Bay, not necessarily with the organization, but with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So he didn't come here just to continue to pad his stats or to make money.
Right.
He came here because of, like you said, Derek Carr. And whatever you think about Derek Carr or whether or not we didn't have enough around him. Derek Carr is not going to be that quarterback that's going to be the reason why we get to a Super Bowl. This ain't 2016. Let's not do that. So yeah, I agree 100%.
So the good stuff, you said that was on Carr, though. The boy was asked last year. Let me tell you something, right? This was in the making before the season started. When it came to this trade. It's been rumored all last off season before Carr even had a snap in the 2022 NFL season. They knew before the season started that Derek Carr was going to be out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Before he had the bad season. It's been speculation year after year after off season when it came to Derek Carr remaining a Raider. It's been talked about. Even the last year, even when Rich Bisaccia took over, they said, oh, this is Carr's last year. Every offseason, that's what it was. So even before Derek Carr even made a snap in that 2022 season, which I don't think he didn't play well, and I agree to that. He didn't play well. But at the same time, you knew that you had to find some weapons to come here and you use your quarterback to get him, knowing that Derek Carr has a relationship outside of football with Devontae Adams. Y'all knew that. A lot of Raider fans knew that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's the guy. Devontae Adams is the godfather of Derek Carr's kids. Like, let's just be realistic there. So the Raiders took that as an advantage to try to use Derek Carr to get Devontae Adams there. Even though Carr played ass, they still found the way to get him there. I bet you if this was Jimmy G, they wouldn't have traded for Devontae Adams.
Absolutely not.
They wouldn't have traded for him. Let's be real.
And if Jimmy G was even here, we wouldn't even been in the sweepstakes for Devontae Adams. Straight like that.
And Leo said that he did come back and say, don't say the coach isn't only to blame. It starts with management, players, executing, and doing their part on the field. Executing is what he meant. My bad. Executing. Question, is Jimmy G playing tomorrow? For what I'm hearing, that he's questionable, but he possibly might be out, Mo Green. But Jimmy G, at the end of the day, I like him. I want him to be, successful with us because we do have to move on from Derek Carr. But it's just a lot of things going on in this last 3 to 4 weeks that made the Derek Carr conversation a little bit more different now than it was in the offseason. So, we could go to number 4, defending the defense. Let's get it. So, what did they do against the Steelers, and what are the building blocks moving into week 4? Now, for this defense, what has to happen is they're getting Austin Eckler back. We have to stop the run. And Austin Eckler is a good receiving running back. Austin Eckler makes everything go in his offense. If you notice, they struggle to run the ball without Austin Eckler. They struggle. So if we can find a way to keep Justin Herbert one-dimensional, this defense will be fine. Now, Quentin Johnston, even though he came out of TCU, he's still a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
You still have Mike Williams is done for the year. You still have a Keenan Allen. And, I just feel like we just got to play true to ourselves when it comes to the defense. Like you said, we rank 17th in the league. That's really higher than what we was in the last couple of years with the Las Vegas Raiders. But we just got to be true to ourselves. We got to make sure we're not too handsy or getting flagged or doing unnecessary stuff on there. If we just play fundamental, complementary, physical football on that side, I think we could. I think we could really find. It's gonna be challenging, but I think the Raiders could definitely get the job done on defensive side.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, we've been doing very well against the run all year, with the exception against the Bills. I think that not only is Mike Williams out, but the Raider killer by the name of Jalen Guyton. I do a show with his mom every other Thursday. Real Moms of the Shield. He's still working his way back from the torn ACL. He will actually come off the PUP list after this game. He's out. He brings the speed element to that team, and he has just absolutely killed the Raiders the last few times that they played us. And I told her, I said, yeah, Jalen might be my favorite player, but I'm glad he ain't playing in this game because he kills us. So I think we have the DBs to match up. And at some point, Patrick Graham.
Here we go.
At some point, Patrick Graham, can you make any adjustment whatsoever in the second half? I think Ray Charles is back. He's back. He's back in the grave.
Because Patrick Graham is just as blonde as me.
Say less.
He's just as blonde as me, because Patrick Graham, I'm gonna say this, bro. He made the adjustments in the second half, and they just didn't execute. But Patrick Graham, overall, I think he did a great job for me against Pittsburgh. Besides that, we gave up that one big bomb because Marcus Peters just got burnt off the line. You see, with that, I can't blame Patrick Graham for.
No.
That's just bad player execution by Marcus Peters. And he dropped the pick six. So you can't blame that on Patrick Graham either. So as far as play calling for the defense, I thought it was really, really good. I'm gonna tell you this here, man. Patrick Graham, you gotta have a perfect defense against this Chargers on week 4. You got to have a perfect defense. There's no way you're going to sit here and think that you're going to go with the same scheme you did against Pittsburgh and it's going to happen with the Chargers. You got to switch it up. You got to confuse Justin Herbert. You got to get pressure on him. You got to find ways to do it. So the building blocks is keep up the momentum that we have on defense, and let's go into the Chargers game with that same momentum. But offense got to score points. Shit.
Yeah, I don't like this matchup for us, and we're going to get to the prediction at the end of the show, but this game has me very, very nervous because Justin Herbert, I mean, he's been getting a little ridiculed as well.
Right.
And how about the fact that the Raiders defense historically has been the defense that teams get right against? And look at what happened in week 2 in Buffalo. Josh Allen got right against the Raider defense. So yeah, I'm extremely nervous. There's a church member who's a Chargers fan. He's from Los Angeles. And he's probably gonna let me have it at some point or another if they come out with the victory during the week. So yeah, shout out to Shamon Phillips. What's up, brother?
All right, so Big L for the offensive line. So Big L for the OL. After thinking the offensive line would be better in run blocking after last year. What TF? No, I can say it. I can say it for Willie. What the fuck?
I actually said that. Okay.
Yeah, it says that. WTF, what the fuck? Now I can say that for Willie. He just let you know, anybody is watching, I decided to say it myself. Willie didn't give me the go to say it. I just wanted to say it. I just want it's not Willie's fault, okay? If you're watching on Willie's channel and he doesn't curse, I know, but I did it. I did it for us.
Right.
For us. So
lean in.
Right. So for me, offensive line has been abysmal in the last 3 weeks. Doesn't matter what team it is, from the worst run defense in the league to the best run defense in the league. It ain't getting it done. Jimmy G got sacked 4 times against the Pittsburgh Steelers team. And I think Watt only had 1 of those sacks. That tells you something.
Mm-hmm.
Watt had 1 sack and 1 tackle for loss. And they still got 3 sacks with Jimmy G. Whoever the offensive line coach is for the Las Vegas Raiders need to be fired. Should have been fired the Monday after the game. So this offensive line got to get that's the main thing. If you want the key to success to an offense or a defense, it's in the trenches. You got to ball out.
Right.
You got to block, or you got to get pressure on the quarterback. If you don't do those 2 things, everything else struggles in your offense and in your defense.
No doubt. I mean, you have to be able to you got to have some sort of semblance of some kind of balance. I mean, last year, of course, we had that, but the O-line, man, you guys need to step it up, man. Plain and simple. Plain and freaking simple.
To me, it's the weakest link on our football team right now.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. But we do have some good news, though. The Chargers have the 3rd worst defense in the National Football League, giving up 450 yards per game. Actually, no, that's not right. They are the 2nd worst defense in terms of yardage per game at 450 per contest. That is the good news. Now, offensive line, you have got to get on your horse and do what is needed to be done to open some holes up for this kid, Josh Jacobs, and the rest of them. You're a little bit better than average, or actually you're middle of the road in rushing defense. You talk about a get right game for the offensive line and the offense as a whole. And I saw somebody put in the chat, I can't remember who it was. Jay Rader says this. Guess what Raiders ranked 32nd in points, which is the Panthers at 31, and they have a rookie quarterback who didn't even play in a game this year. That's all I got to say about it. That's all I got about it.
That I was just about to get you, like, bro, it really doesn't matter if they have the worst defense in the league against the pass or the run, because at the end of the day, we can't score fucking points.
Mm-hmm.
We can't score points. So if the offense don't take advantage of it, it just makes it look worse. It makes it look worse. And I say this to say it at best, because we had chances to go up against not great defenses and we don't take advantage of it, or we turn the ball over and we don't have good care of the football. So there's a lot of mental mistakes going on our offense side of the ball. And I love the fact that the Chargers are 30th versus the pass and 24 against the run. Mm-hmm. But the question is the Raiders offense going to take advantage of that? Is the offensive line, knowing that they don't have Joey Bosa this week? Yeah, they might have Khalil Mack, but Joey Bosa's out. So Colton Miller, you should be good this week.
Yeah, no doubt.
Colton Miller, Dylan Parham, Andre James, Jermaine Illuminor, and Greg Van Roten. Y'all guys, y'all have to get on the same page. See where the blitzes are coming from. What coverage are they in? Or you see a linebacker creeping up. You gotta learn how to communicate on the offensive line. Oh, I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm pointing. You gotta be more communicative when it comes to that.
Question: is JC Jackson playing?
No.
Yeah, he's out.
I don't think he's playing due to the fact that he got that. I think he got that arrest warrant.
Yeah, well, he violated his probation.
Well, I see. When it comes to these damn players, man, these players need to learn. Just because you have money, you don't get away with shit.
Exactly. JC is playing according to Dominique 5. Okay.
So if he's playing. It's not a non-damn factor. He's getting paid $85 million to be a healthy scratch every week. I'm sorry. I'm not concerned for JC Jackson. I'm not worried. I'm worried about Darion James. I think Darion James, when he's healthy, he's one of the best in the league. But I don't care for JC Jackson. I just don't.
Well, we now know the reason why the Patriots let him walk.
Right. So, is this the new segment that's coming up right here, bro?
What we got?
You big dummy.
You big dummy. So yeah, go ahead and explain what the topic says, or what you have written there on the paper. What does it say?
You big dummy. Let's discuss two things each that made us say you big dummy.
And this is one of my favorite parts of any show that I do, because normally, whether it's on the ShakeBack Sports Show, or whether it's on the Ballers Report podcast, or the ShakeBack Sports Show OT, or even the hashtag Brothers of Baseball, this is a part of the show that I actually ask my people that come on, or I even ask myself sometimes. It can be inside or outside of the world of sports, but since this is an All Raiders podcast, this is the part of the show that we says, what happened in the game? What did the Raiders do that made you say this?
Big dummy. Oh no, you big dummy. You dummy. You big dummy. 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 Get lost, dummy.
Red Fox, Demond Wilson, Whitman Mayo, rest in peace. All y'all rest in peace. Yeah. That's exactly what that is. You big dummy. So D, what we got?
Marcus Peters, you big dummy. You dropped a pick six right in your hands, brother. We even showed it on the All 22 film on Nothing But Raider podcast. You played the play very well, number one. I'm going to give you that. But the fact that you don't never drop interceptions, but you just Raidering right now like the Raiders do, and we don't get no goddamn turnovers, and you're here for that. You dropped that, you big dummy. You big dummy. You dropped a pick six that could have changed the whole landscape of that damn game.
Big dummy. Oh no, you big dummy.
I like it, man, because that play right there could have turned the fortunes of the contest, because it would have definitely established a set of momentum that we have not seen from a Raider defense really since the preseason, and that don't count. It may matter, but it didn't count.
Right.
My big dummy, of course, is Josh McDummy. And the fact that he decided to not go for the fourth down conversion deep in Steelers territory after we kicked the field goal and got the 15-yard penalty for leverage. You don't pass up an opportunity like that, especially when you've been handed a gift like that. But then here is the big dummy part two of the same thing. You really want to turn this defense over to the worst, even though they were the worst offense in the league at the time. You want to turn this defense over, led by that dude, to get a stop with Jimmy G as your quarterback, who had already thrown through 2 picks in the game. You, sir, you dummy. That's my big dummy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's sure. But I think that's everybody's big dummy, honestly. So we just saw the Twitter post, breaking news that Aiden O'Connell will be the starter against the Chargers. Thank God the football guys had came through and got in Josh McDaniels' head. Brian Hoyer, sit your ass down, hold a clipboard, had the headset, and you help this kid out.
Yeah, but let's pray that this kid doesn't get killed, because then we're going to see Brian Hoyer anyway.
But I bet you one thing I'm gonna say. I bet you I'm matter of fact, I'm gonna make this deal with you. Not even deal, but I bet you Aiden O'Connell will spread the ball out more than Jimmy G.
And I bet you also that the running game is going to get untracked this week. The offensive line is going to play well.
So if that's the case, then if we feel like that, is that a Jimmy G problem? We can talk about it next week. We'll talk about it next week when the game. We'll talk about that next week. But let's look ahead to week 4. We have the Los Angeles Chargers going to Los Angeles against the Las Vegas Raiders. You see how I just switched that up, by the way, because this is going to be a home game for us. This is definitely not a home game for the Chargers. Offensive keys of the game to shock the Bulls. What would be at least what we doing, like 5 keys, 3 keys?
Let's just do a couple because we already running out of time.
Okay, so key plays to shock the Bulls, Willie. Key plays.
Well, now that we know Aiden O'Connell is going to start, it is very critical that the offensive line really gets going. And if that happens, I'm talking about from a run blocking standpoint, I can actually see that happening now. I don't know, D, but it is just something about when a different quarterback is inserted, there seems to be a renewed energy. I think these guys are going to have the best game of the season. Josh Jacobs is going to run for 100 yards. That's going to be necessary. The play action pass is going to open up, and that is the key. The O-line getting off of their behinds and run blocking the way that we know they can.
Yeah, it definitely starts with it really starts with, for me, offensive, defensive line. That's my few keys to the game. Is if you can protect Aiden O'Connell and you can help Max Crosby on the defensive line, then you can have success against this Chargers team. Another key to the game, we gotta keep, Justin Herbert. You gotta at least have him like at least throw for like 30 attempts or something like that. We got to force him to be, technically just got to force him to be one-dimensional. If we could force this Charger team to be one-dimensional and get upright and get upfield and pressure, rattle Justin Herbert a little bit, I think we could come out with this win. And it's really going to come down to the running backs when it comes to the running back by committee, even though Josh Jacobs don't like, according to a few names out there, they don't feel the running back by committee thing, but Josh Jacobs is going to need it. He's going to need all these running backs to be a factor in this game against this defense, because they got a lot of defensive players down. And Amir Abdullah got to get on the same page now with Aiden O'Connell catching the ball out the backfield. So it's possible. It's possible if we can make the right moves, we can beat the Chargers in week 4. We could definitely, shock the Bulls in our home stadium, because so far it should be ours. I'm just saying.
Real quick, man, before we get up out of here, look for the kid, the rookie from Cincinnati, to have a big game. You have to understand that there's probably a lot of chemistry between McConnell and himself because of them being on the second squad or what have you. So look for a possible big game from that kid.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to go into the defensive keys to put on a shirt, to put a shirt in the Chargers. Number 1, this is what I'm going to say here. The defensive keys to take the plug out of the Chargers. Take it out the socket. That's how I see it. Mm-hmm. Just take out the socket. But 1-on-1, stop the run game. Running backs come. Even though Joshua Kelly is another good running back for the Los Angeles Chargers, I do like him at that position. And we just can't let him go off because they saying that Eckler is out. I don't know how confirmed that is if Eckler is out. But for me, I still feel like we could win this game. If we could find the right corners, if we could get the right matchups defensively, we win this game. I don't want Marcus Peters on a Quentin Johnson, which is a rookie that could blow by him by 40 yards like Calvin Austin III did on Sunday Night Football. Mm-hmm. So we got to start. Like I said in a couple of other segments, we have to get pressure on Justin Herbert. We have to get him rattled and make him lose his confidence. So Patrick Graham, you got to dial up some stunts, something creative that they have not seen before. I need to see a little bit more of the 4-3 or the 3-4. I'll be seeing, the 4-2-5s and the 3-3-5s and stuff like that. 3-3-5s and 4-2-5s are cool. Don't get me wrong, but I still think if we can still get pressure on Justin Herbert, we can win this game. So that's kind of like my few keys. It's not really too much because they played well against a Steelers team that, even though they worst offense in the NFL, but they still have some weapons over there for Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And I'm gonna agree with that. I think it's gonna start up front with Max Crosby and those boys. I'm hoping that the rookie Wilson, is getting closer to being what we drafted him for. Because with Chandler Jones going through all of his personal issues, we're gonna need him, man. And Malcolm Kuntz, can you please get off the milk carton, please? So yeah, that's what I got. Yeah, I got a text from my cousin that actually still lives in the town. He says he loves our Raiders show, so I appreciate him texting me that and pulling up and checking it out. He's OG, man. He's been a Raider fan longer than I have. I mean, he's one of my big cousins that's still out there. So shout out to Michael Carr.
Oh, is that Derek Carr's family member? No. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you, bro. But we're gonna get into our score predictions for this game here. Like I said, 4:25 kickoff on the Nothing But Raider podcast. I'll be live on there doing a game at 4:25, and that's the only game I'm doing on Sunday. I'm not doing no Sunday night football. I'm not doing a morning game. No, I'm not doing any of that because I know I got to go back to work Monday, and I got to be up at 4:45 in the morning. Nope, not doing it.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. But score prediction. This is our official home opener. I'm gonna keep saying our official home opener, and. Who you got, Willie? Who are you taking?
Hold on, man. I gotta think for a second. Every score that we have predicted for the Raiders, they have come up marginally. I mean, not marginally. They come up extremely lower than what we have said. I think in the first game, I had predicted 20 points, at least 27 points. Same thing for the Bills, and then same thing last week. I'm not doing it again this week, and I'm actually not even going to predict that we're going to win this game. I got the Chargers, man, 34, the Raiders 17. And I don't like to say it, but I'm scared. This just feels like an awfully bad matchup for us.
Yeah, I that's gonna be tough for me to do, but I mean, I don't think it is. But when it comes to this Las Vegas Raiders, right? We always, no matter what our record is, we always compete against the Chargers. But the only time that happens is when we at home. We never play well. I mean, since SoFi Stadium been there, we have not played well in SoFi Stadium. We haven't played well. But I think this defense is going to build off what they did Sunday night against Pittsburgh. And one thing about the Chargers, they don't know how to keep leads.
This is true.
They don't know how to keep leads. And you see the last 3 games. They're 1-2 just like us. They're literally 1-2 just like us.
Really should be 0-3 because their coach is a moron.
Exactly. So the Chargers are, don't get me wrong, it's a scary matchup because offensively they are good, but they take the hard way to win. And sometimes you can have a lead after lead after lead, and then they come back. If Josh McDaniels can make the right adjustments in the second half with this bad defense that's ranked 30th against the pass and 24th against the run, we have to do something creatively on offense to get it going. But I think this is going to be a low scoring game. I don't think Justin Herbert gets over. I think it'll be under 20 points for them. I'm going to say Raiders 17, Chargers 14.
I hope I'm right. I'm hoping you're right, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong for real. But again, this team scares me. All right, let me start off with the final thoughts, man. The excellent wrap.
Okay.
Guys, ladies and gentlemen that's in the chat, and for all those that have participated in the conversation, we thank you and we love you. We are very passionate about our team. We have been for as long as I can remember for myself. Here's the thing. At the beginning of the show, Darion talked about his schedule and everything he has going on. We really need y'all's help, man. And it doesn't cost you any money. Go and subscribe to his channel. Keep subscribing to his channel. Go and subscribe to my channel. That's the only way we're going to be able to get to what we want to do and doing what we love and loving what we do on a more consistent basis and with more times to be able to do it. It doesn't cost anything to hit the subscribe button, man. Can y'all just go out there and do that for both of us, man? That would be so dope. That's all I got.
Same here, man. Like, just our schedule is when we work in a full-time 9 to 5 and try to keep the consistency on doing podcasting when it comes to it. So for me, for my my excellence wrap up is just that just keep supporting, even though right now the shirts are starting at $16 on TeePublic. So if you want to click the link in the chat and go to TeePublic, all the Nothing But Raider podcast t-shirts are up there. We do have some vintage t-shirts, like a vintage style t-shirt of Devontae Adams, Max Crosby, and Charles Woodson. I do have to put the Bo Jackson t-shirt up there, but for the next 3 to 4 days is $16 on TeePublic. So make sure y'all go and just support. That's the best way to support. Even if you want to become a member of this channel, fine. But if you want to get, ShakeBack Media Group to 1,000 subscribers so he could be monetized, to do this on a full-time basis. It's absolutely free to do. If you want to support as far as buying a t-shirt and stuff like that, that's fine. I want to throw that out there because that's a promotion going on. So shout out to TeePublic, because I am an affiliate over there for TeePublic as well. So make sure you just hit the subscribe button, just share it out to your friends, and let's just keep rocking, man. Let's keep rocking, keep doing this Commitment to Excellence podcast. And even though the last 2 weeks we did it on a Saturday, we going back to it on Friday. We're definitely going back to it on Friday this upcoming week. But we thank y'all for tuning in. We thank y'all supporting us, no matter if we do it Saturday morning or we do it Friday night. You know what I'm saying? So we thank y'all and we appreciate it. Any more final thoughts, man?
Nope. That's it for me. Let's go.
Just last quick question. He said, question, Aiden O'Connell becomes Brock Purdy tomorrow and Jimmy G loses his job. Is that a hot take or that's a question?
It looks like it's a question, but it's going to take more than one game for us to really see that. But yeah, Brock Purdy now has film on him, so it might be a little bit. It's a different scenario based on just that. So we'll see.
Absolutely. But thank y'all for tuning in to the Commitment to Excellence podcast. Make sure y'all go and follow Willie, which is on ShakeBack Media Group. You see the 2 down there, and you see it on Facebook as well. All social media platforms as ShakeBack Media Group. Same thing for Nothing But Raider podcast. Make sure you go to MBR Pod 1 and follow us on all social medias. My name is fully out on Facebook as Nothing But Raiders podcast. Make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe to both channels, support the channels, like the channels, and we're out of here, y'all. And make sure, I gotta throw this in here too, and I'm gonna play it anyway, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Make sure y'all go to SeatGeek.com and get $20 off your first purchase using the promo code SRT. I can't change the promo code because that means that it was meant for Spotlight Raiders Talk, but I changed the name, so I can't change the promo code, but you can still use SRT or D Hopkins Show and get $20 off your first purchase for that. So thank y'all so much, man. We are out of here. Willie, thank you for coming on and doing these with me. I know the change was last minute, but
it's all good, man. It's all good.
We out of here, y'all. Peace, love, and blessings. Same time, same place. Commitment to Excellent podcast. We are out of here. Peace out. This episode of Nothing But Raiders podcast is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 platform to browse, discover, and experience the best events in town, and all in the palm of your hand. From heart-pounding concerts that can make you dance to nail-biting sports games that can keep you on the edge of your seat, SeatGeek has it all. From exclusive deals and personalized recommendations tailored just for you. Use our promo code SRT and get $20 off your first purchase. So join the movement. SeatGeek. Get up, get out, and get tickets.
I didn't care as much about being respected as I cared from the standpoint of winning about being feared and being imitated. And then respect could come after that.